Sorry, these Western road swings always make me tired.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It
Watching
is rough.
hockey till 12 o'clock at night.
It was pretty rough last night.
Yeah, and then the Edmonton game was 11. Actually, what do you think about it though? If the Jets make the thing,
Yeah, of course,
the thing that
we
like
shan't
that
have.
you challenge for
Ultimate glory.
exactly. It takes 16 wins. If you can get to that part, the games after those original 82 games, we could potentially see a lot of these West Coast late night games.
I could deal.
If we were to play against Anaheim. Welcome back, everyone. Last Man In Podcast, episode 35.
It's a lot of podcasts.
That's a lot of podcasts.
We have.
And we still don't have listeners.
No. We got valiant listeners.
We have
the ones who listen, they know. They know.
Yeah.
They know what we're about.
Yeah, they don't go out there and they know what they're getting with us.
Yeah.
And then when it's just me and you,
yeah,
they sit down and they're prepared to be taken on a wild ride, which is what we're gonna
tapping too. Man, that was loud last week when Dan hit the table.
Yeah,
I tried buffering that and it came out real loud, still.
Yeah, because he was mad.
That my dogs want a piece. Those are my dogs barking. If you hear a machine going, it's my water machine. If you hear water going, it's my dishwasher. And if you hear dogs barking, it's my dogs barking.
So what you're saying is there could be a lot of background noise.
A ton. We'll try to refrain from the tapping and the table smashing. That was ridiculous.
That was over the top.
That was real loud. And that's why Dan, he's a feature on this podcast.
Yeah, this is why we removed his full-time status.
Yeah, he only gets, although it looks cool when it's featuring Dan and Rudy. I like that. And it looks nice on the phone, at least, or however you listen to it, it looks nice.
It's definitely funny. I started telling people from school about this more and more, and they hopefully are listening. So if you are,
holler at your boy.
School,
Stop play ahead. Are they up in the 6?
I don't know what that means.
You don't listen to Drake?
I don't listen to Drake.
All up in the 6. Nope.
Funny story about last time I danced to Drake music.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been Thursday night after my EP trade show for school.
And how did that go?
It went well.
The dancing or the trade show?
Both.
Both?
The trade show went well. We were a Chinese food truck. They gave away fortune cookies.
Yeah, I saw that was a special of the day. I was like, nice special of the day, friend.
Well, our whole business plan was the fact that we were supposed to be fresh food. So you don't want to make food and then leave it in warmers for 6 hours and be like, yeah, we're still serving fresh.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Where'd you buy those?
Fortune cookies?
Yeah.
Costco, I think. Or Young's Food Store or something like that. One or the other, I don't remember.
Did you give them out to everyone? Did you? How many? Dude, those are delicious. I love fortune cookies.
We have 400 left over.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I have some?
I could ask.
Oh, who? You gonna buy them?
It got to, well, no. It's just at someone's house. We got to the point where we're throwing them at people and we're playing catch with them.
EP! Chinese food! Think fast!
And then the dancing after.
I just want to say before the dancing,
yeah.
I have $1 million idea. I'll give it away for free, but credit me somewhere. How come no one's invented fortune cookie ice cream flavor? I would eat that. Oh, I love fortune cookie flavor. So back to the dancing.
So
was it at a house party? Or was it?
It was at the bar.
Which bar was it?
Union
Sound Hall. Great place for a venue for concerts as well.
Oh, really?
But you know it's like on a loft. It's like in an art studio. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But when you're there for a concert, you know the metal beams supporting the whole building? Those are in the middle of the mosh.
Yes,
I've seen people just nail their faces on metal.
Have you ever seen someone try to hang off the copper piping?
Yeah, when I saw the band, when I saw Protest here in Architects, the lead singer from Architects hung upside down and was singing. Yeah.
See, that's what I was trying to do.
You're trying to do that in a bar?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that attract a lot of attention?
Went on the stage and...
Actually, the stage is real short. That roof is short. Yeah.
I got kind of...
Inebriated?
Yes, we'll say that.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Of course.
Started hanging off the roof, off the copper piping, allegedly.
Of course. Yeah,
started dancing my shirt off on stage.
Did your shirt come off?
My shirt. I took my shirt off.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Did you spin it above your head?
I did.
Allegedly. Okay.
Of course, this is all...
Alleged. We can't confirm or deny that this
because
happened.
I don't remember.
Okay. Well,
Hockey. Yeah. Jets.
Sports. Go team. Yes. Now, imagine, just hypothetically, if the Jets make it to said thing.
Yes.
Would you act even crazier if
yes.
they advance past the first 7 things?
Oh my God.
Because right now, apart from last night, they were on a roll.
They were on a 5-game win streak.
5-game win streak.
All started against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Then went through, beat San Jose. And then they played who on Thursday night?
The Blues, didn't they?
Yes. And they beat the Blues.
They did in a shootout.
2-1.
Weird fact about the Blues.
Yes.
Since Jets 2.0, not 1.0,
Yeah,
but
okay.
2.0, the Jets have not lost in regulation in the MTS Center. No. The Blues have not lost. They're 4-0-2 at the MTS Center.
And I have seen one of those. I've seen
one
one Blue game, and that was an shootout game that the Jets lost.
I saw one Blues game, and they beat us.
But this was Pav's third straight win.
Yeah.
Then goes to the Caps, the team that always beats us in March.
Yes.
Dating back to like 3 years ago.
The night that the Jets played the Blues, in between, the Caps were on a road swing. They played the Wild. That was the first time in Capitals history that they had won in regulation in Minnesota.
Wow.
They're like 1-6 and like 1 or something.
That's
It's
crazy.
brutal. But yeah, so Caps come into town. Both teams are on win streaks.
4-game win streaks. It was.
I think yeah.
No, 3-game win streaks each.
Whatever. Both win streaks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Winnipeg wins 3-0.
Pavlik
Played well.
I'm gonna be straight up.
Oh,
I went to
you
the
were there.
game in my Ovi jersey, and I've told you this before, but Michael Latta in the second period, I believe, or at the start of third, he cross-checked Tyler Myers right in the neck. I'm surprised he didn't get a hearing or a fine. Like, I know like Jets fans are pretty brutal, but like in terms of like, hey, but like that one, well deserved. Any crowd would have lost it on the ref because like. They didn't see it. I think they went to review, and then they're like, okay, yeah, we have to give him. So they gave him 2 minutes for high sticking. The moment Michael Latta did that, people in my section, like, I was bugging them a bit, but I had no reason to bug them because the Jets Caps are down like 1-0, 2-0. They weren't
How
playing
can
a
you be a
great game.
Caps fan and a Flyers fan? They're in the same
I'm an
division?
Ovechkin fan. Ovechkin. Ovi is on my back. I just like Ovi.
Okay.
I like who doesn't like Ovi growing up in our age group? He's awesome.
A lot of people don't.
It's Ovi or Crosby. I'll give you that. And then my choice is
Ovechkin.
obviously Ovechkin.
Yeah, mine too.
Anyways, they turned on me and started yelling at me as if I was Michael Latta's brother. And I physically Michael, cross-check Tyler Myers right in the neck. Right in the neck.
It's like you had a walkie-talkie underneath your seat. You're like, Michael, come in.
Yeah, that's like, remember the...
Over, Michael.
Over and out. Golden Eagle.
Just, hey, Lats. Cross-check Myers in the neck.
Right in the neck.
Which one's Myers? The tall one. So not the short one. No, you'll probably miss him.
Yeah, you will miss Toby Henstrom. But yeah, in this game, I was going to say, Ovi, first off, has the best defensive presence ever. He plays like me on defense, where he just waits, and then he's like, okay, I don't want to block the shot. We got the puck. Go, go, go. Give me the puck. Give me the puck. Give me the puck. Like, the Caps on the power play are like the Jets, but the Jets go way better at it. The Jets with Buff, all they do is feed him the puck, but people cover Buff. Ovi was wide open on the left hash mark. He was like holding he was like, back in like NHL, like before the hit sticks, how you could just
like hold your stick really high.
Hold up the charge.
Yeah.
He's just holding his stick. And the moment Nick Backstrom gets it on the half wall, everyone's like, get Ovi! And every time he's like, and then they pass it to him, boom, he shoots, and like, boom, 10 feet up, 17 feet wide. Oh my goodness, he took out section 318. Like, just, it's ridiculous. But, either way, no goals scored. So Ovi, he's still sitting at 47 goals. I wanted him to hit 50 so bad.
He will.
But what I was going to say about that game was Pavlik stood on his head. Like, oh man, it was hard not to, like, I was cheering, like, clapping for Pavs, but like, it was ridiculous how good of a game Pavlik had. But as I talked to you a couple of friends about this too, Jets fans are so hot and cold. They're like, the Katy Perry hot and cold will forever describe Winnipeg fans in general, because they were chanting Pavy after the game because he got first. They're like, Pavy. And I was giggling because I'm like, they're going to hate him in like a week. They're going to hate him. It's what happens here.
It's funny, like, just how much can change just that fast in this city. Like, how much people hated him for that save against St. Louis.
We didn't even just hate him.
now.
Other podcasters in other provinces hated him.
And they're like, send him down to the minors. Like, he shouldn't be here. Bring up Hellebuck or Peter Buda.
Bring up anybody.
Other than Pavlik.
Yeah.
And, like, it just goes to show you that this guy actually has talent. But it's
he has
the
to be
whole,
put in the right situation,
Yeah.
of course.
which brings us to Monday
Yes.
against Edmonton.
Mm-hmm.
A game where people would have said if we lose to Edmonton, that 4-game win streak feels pretty shitty now because you lost to Edmonton.
To be honest, I was half expecting them to lose to the Oilers and beat the Canucks. That's what I thought going in, because the
That's what I
Jets play
thought,
down
too.
to the level of
Yeah.
their opponents. It's so ridiculous.
The 2 games they played this year, and I think dating back to last year, they're like their last 4 meetings have all gone into overtime.
With the Oilers? Really? Oh my goodness.
They don't play regulation games against Edmonton, except for Monday night
Everyone
where they
gets
won
a point.
4-1 over them.
Wasn't there like a...
I was at hockey.
I missed
Missed
that
most
one.
of it, but I listened to the last 8 minutes on TSN 1290 radio,
Okay.
and I must say, I was quite happy with the way Paul Edmonds calls hockey games. Very exciting. If anyone ever listened
Paul
to
Edmonds is at the board. He's like, "Hey, shots!" And it rings around the board. Like,
Yeah.
you think it's every shot's a
Yeah.
goal? Okay.
but he's the one that used to do goal games, right?
Oh, Paul Edmonds. No,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the other guy. I'm
Oh.
thinking of Munns, maybe? Does
Maybe.
Munns do radio sometimes too?
Yeah, but
Who used to do... Oh, Moose. Kelly Moore. Man, he's
Kelly Moore,
awesome.
I love Kelly Moore.
Why did they... Su-
Oh,
right.
because he's CJOB.
Yeah, they didn't get the
But
contract.
oh my god, Kelly Moore was
Kelly
my
Moore's a
fave.
beesies. I remember
Oh.
listening to Jets games on the radio.
Yeah, Kelly.
Because they
Kelly
didn't
Moore
have
was awesome.
AHL rarely... Well, nowadays they do. But back in the day, they didn't get TV broadcasts.
Oh my god, Kelly Moore. I love his voice.
He's so awesome. Yeah.
His voice is awesome. If they could get him to call games, I would love that.
I remember, I don't know who they were playing, but Jaffrey was in overtime and he scored.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said, Jason Jaffrey. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. Jason Jaffrey. He's coming out there. He's gone! Lose three! Lose three! And I was just like jumping in my room, listening to my radio. Yeah! They did it! That really dates us.
One of,
eh?
my,
Like,
one of my favorites was Jimmy Roy goal. And he's just... Oh my goodness!
yeah. They did it! Well, that's like Paul Edmonds.
Yeah.
Remember they play it still on like Gold Eyes radio, like the play-in. It's like, you listen to the home of the Gold Eyes. And it's like, one of the best ones is, you can look up, pack her up, and kiss her goodbye!
Yeah.
Fish win! Fish win! Fish win! I love it. Every time that comes on the radio, someone goes to change, I'm like, no, wait. Fish win!
He was...
To fill you guys in, we have Gold Eye, Winnipeg Gold Eyes. It's independent American Association baseball.
Double A.
Yeah, but he was
Double A
what? Sorry,
baseball. He was... I think he's one of the really good commentators.
to be honest, I haven't listened on the radio in a while.
But
I should. That's so good. I like
really,
it.
he's a decent hockey guy to listen to.
A little better.
He
than,
makes it exciting.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, he does make. Oh, for sure.
Well,
a little better than. Did you
Yes,
watch the game?
yes,
last
I did.
Okay.
This is honestly the
In
first
the
hockey
Canucks.
game I've watched, sat down and watched since like
Same last night in
a
the
long time.
Apart from going to
You
the
know what?
game, right?
That's the problem.
Oh, dude, it was so bad. Like
okay.
it was so. I thought it was nationally broadcast.
Can
You
I-
can't just be like, "Oh, Canucks are the greatest team in the world." They barely even knew the Jets players. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna put this out there for anyone that's listening. Okay. We'll just disclaimer right now. We're not hating on the way the Canucks broadcast was delivered last night, because of all the breaks for the telethon.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah,
I
it was
thought that
great,
cool.
and
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with that.
Oh,
And
yeah, no.
I understand why it was nationally broadcast so that everybody could gain attention to that.
Yeah,
so
that's
like
wicked.
everyone across Canada could see it. What I'm hating on was the atrocity of
The broadcast.
the broadcast itself.
Yeah.
not the telethon.
No,
And
no.
If you're going to nationally broadcast something, I am totally fine with that. If you want to do a Canucks-focused broadcast about their telethon, fine by me. Don't use the Canucks hockey guys that are only on Sportsnet because they're going to use... It's like if Dennis Bayak were to do a full TSN on TSN 1 or
Jets versus Flyers. It's like
Yeah.
obviously it's going to be more
No.
biased to the Jets.
Jets Leafs on nationally TSN broadcast.
Oh yeah, no. You bring in guys like
Gord Miller and Ray Ferraro.
what's
That's
the other
when you
guy?
do it.
Who's that? Jim
Chris
Houston.
Cuthbert. Oh yeah, exactly.
Bring in
You bring
Oh,
in
man.
your A squad for nationally broadcasted games. If this was someone's first time watching hockey in Winnipeg or even in like Halifax or something like that, they would get totally turned off.
They're a Canucks fan now.
Those they were not interesting. They were boring. They didn't know much about the Jets, And I thought it was, honestly, as a nationally broadcasted game, Sportsnet should be embarrassed, one, with the... and we've talked about how much we dislike Sportsnet, so none of this is at all, like, a surprise. The camera angle work was awful. There was several times...
I like the trailer cam. I like that
No,
thing.
I'm okay with that. My thing was, there were several times in that game, they forgot to follow the puck and just zoomed in on the Sportsnet logo on the boards. I don't know if you ever noticed it, but they just did it a few times.
Now that you're talking about it, I guess.
And they're like, oh, Sportsnet logo.
Sportsnet logo.
Puck's that way.
SN. Oh, look, what's that thing that just cut across? Oh, that's all right. Fast zoom. Whoop, snap zoom there.
And the other thing is it was clearly tailored to Canucks fans. It was like, oh, the score and win, and this brought you, Canucks hockey brought to you by this, and okay, we get it, it's a Canucks broadcast.
You have to get your advertisements in and all that, I understand.
Why is this
national?
If you're going to nationally broadcast something, nationally broadcast it to a national audience. Don't just say, okay, we're going to make it available for everyone. This is our, hey, look, we took out our local blackout for this game. Make it a national broadcast. Don't make it, okay, it's a local broadcast available across the country.
Yeah, because if that was the case, I'd rather Dennis. I'd much rather Dennis anyways, because Dennis still gives a fair slate.
Well, like if Ovechkin scores, oh my God, scored!
Yeah, that's fine. Everyone gets excited for Ovi because he gets so excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, last night, that's the one thing that, like, I know you and Dana complained about it, but I never noticed it like that bad. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to it. Like usually I just have the audio off and listen to podcasts or something. I had the audio on and I was listening. I'm like, wow, is it always like that? Apparently, yeah, because that was brutal. That was real bad. Like it was very biased and like sure I get it. It's their crew, but it's like come on, cut us some slack here.
Well, it wasn't that, and they never like really ever mentioned the fact that Winnipeg was in a push for the thing that we won't mention.
A push for the glory road.
Yes. They never really mentioned that. They never talked about how, Winnipeg's had all these injury problems and they've kept overcoming it all year long. They never mentioned that. It was always, the Canucks keep doing this, and I'm going to talk in a monotone voice.
And Radim Verbata is now on the top line with the Sedins. They went out and got him, and I'm like, Tyler Perreault, we had a great signing. You're just injured right now. That's a great signing. It just shows the incompetence thus far of Sportsnet's national broadcast, or just Sportsnet's broadcasting. I'm totally okay with the telethon thing, but for me, if you want to grab my advertising dollars and be able to advertise towards me, if you're somebody who was advertising last night and you were paying money to have your commercials viewed, no offense, people are going to watch the telethon for a little bit. They understand, they get it, they get what the phone number is. I know people who donated, and I retweeted a tweet last night about it too. Like, donate, please. I don't have the disposable income to do it, otherwise I would have. I'm not saying anything negative towards it. It's just people are going to turn the other channel, and your commercials aren't going to be seen. And I just thought it was a poor way to handle it on Sportsnet's part. We never really heard a dissection of the game. We never heard anything like that. It was local broadcast that was available nationally, which was just terrible. And with the guys that they have at their disposal too, it could have been so much more. That's what I think you're getting at too.
That's exactly what I'm saying is, if you're gonna make it available nationally, make it a national broadcast. Let guys like Jim Houston, even if it's not Jim Houston, even if it's just like Dave Randorf, even, which I've had issues with him in the past.
I don't mind Randorf. I kind of got used to him for World Championships.
But like, make it don't make it Canucks hockey brought to you by. Make it Sportsnet hockey, but I guess they have a quota they have to fill, and they felt like the good guys by letting a locally broadcasted game available nationally, and they butchered it pretty good. Oh, man, were Jets fans not happy.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of tweets, and I follow only probably 10 to 12 Jets fans on Twitter, and all of them complained about the announcing. All of them understood, okay, we know that there's a telethon, and yes, we've all donated. We don't need to keep hearing about it every 2 minutes. We don't need to, and you can keep hammering the point home.
But that's why they do that.
I know, but it just, for me, it was just mishandled and misbroadcasted, and it was kind of disappointing because as soon as I saw it was on Sportsnet, I was like, wow, this is going to be terrible.
Because it shouldn't be your thought, but it is, right?
But it is, because they've just done such a terrible job. They've butchered Saturday night hockey, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, I don't think of it as the same anymore at all.
If I'm the way I look at it, like I remember Saturday Night Hockey being that thing that you sit down and like I watched it with my dad, I watched it with my grandpa, and yeah, people still do that, but it just doesn't have that same feel because it's not Ron McLean. It's not, that crew anymore. It doesn't feel the same that it used to.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to appeal to everyone when Hockey Night in Canada knew their audience, they knew how to appeal to their audience, and they worked it, and they were very good at it.
Exactly. And the other thing that it applies, it may seem like it applies to such a small market, but for me, it was one of the best things that I looked forward to every Saturday night. I looked forward to it every playoff season, and I looked forward to it almost every playoff game. And that was the pre-game montages made by something Thompson from Hockey Night in Canada. The montages he would make before games, whether it was playoffs, season opener, whatever it was, they were so good. And it shows because they had over hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. Those kinds of things were on YouTube, and they were making... And you know what? Sportsnet's like, no, we're just going to put another commercial instead of letting it happen because, one, it pumped you up for the game.
One of them was...
and it was like an ode.
I'm getting goosebumps, but one of them was...
it was an ode to what you were going to see.
At the end of the season, the Stanley Cup one. God, there's one I'm thinking of. It's like...
Tonight?
It's by...
Yeah,
that one
is so good.
Smashing Pumpkins, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, tonight. Tweet
it.
Yeah, no, I just wrote it.
Go on NHL. It's on the NHL YouTube, so you can retweet it from that.
Okay.
Send the link out from there.
My goodness gracious.
And
so
you know what?
Good.
The best part about it, it's Ron McLean that introduces the video.
Yes.
And he's like, congratulations to the Blackhawks. We just got to remember that tonight. And then it's like, whoa! And then the drum roll starts. But it's
bring
just
stuff like that in.
Exactly.
You can do it.
And they're like, no, let's get these huge video boards.
There's people who have the talent to make those videos. Hire them. Go on YouTube. Type in hockey highlights. There's people who are very good at them. And just contact them. It's not
they
hard.
had the guys on staff. And they just don't use it. Instead, they're like, we're going to... It's just from a production value has gone downhill so much. And it's one of those things where, okay, viewership's around the same. Like, they haven't lost anything. Which, that's fine. Because I think a lot of new people came in to see George Stroumboulopoulos. I love him as an interviewer. I don't like him as the lead panel guy. I also don't like a lot of the panel guys because they're trying...
Is PJ Stock still there?
Yeah.
God, what a nutball.
Sorry,
that's not nice. He's wonky. I don't know.
He's different.
Yeah.
But, like, the thing is you had... I think there are guys who liked PJ Stock, liked Elliot Friedman, liked these guys. The national hate for guys like Nick Kiprios and that other guy with the glasses and the gray hair and the white hair.
Doug McLean? Come on.
Yes.
He's great.
Well, like,
he gave us
so
Columbus goal horn. Did you not? Did we talk about this on this?
No.
I remember watching an interview with Doug McLean at the All-Star game because he was before Scott Housen, like the former GM, and now it's Jarmo Kekalainen. It was Doug McLean, and Doug McLean during his whole tenure of being of being the GM of Columbus, like every month he'd get a phone call and an email and a letter saying, "Hey, we're a part of the Columbus Horn Association or blah blah blah. We want to put like a fake." What's that called? A cannon in the arena. Make a real good fan experience. So in his last month there, he approved it. They moved in 2 weeks before he left, and he signed into like a 10-year deal.
Nice.
So you can...
That is awesome.
If you hate Doug McLean, you gotta love him for that cannon.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, the sound doesn't come out of the cannon, it comes out of the speakers. But apparently when you go to a game, it is incredibly loud if you're not ready for it.
That's funny.
Yeah, they have... Okay, so Doug McLean, the hate for that guy, and... Oh, our favorite guy, Damian Cox. Because, hey, Greg, I'm gonna trade you. Okay, I'm offering you a trade. I'm Kevin Cheveldayoff, okay? I'm Kevin Cheveldayoff. You're Buffalo, you're first pick, okay? Okay, I'm going to offer you, I think, being Damian Cox, the Winnipeg Jets should offer Josh Morrissey, Nick Letang, and Mark Scheifele for Connor McDavid, or Vander Kane, naturally. I mean, bring him back. And Jonas Enloff. What do you think? I mean, that's how you build a team.
Well, Enloff isn't there anymore. So
fine, Anders Lindback, whatever. It's stupid.
See, this is... I knew exactly we were going to take that, but I was going to take it somewhere else back. Okay, so Jacob Trouba, you're first for the next 6 years for Connor McDavid, Sam Reinhart, Mikhail Grigorenko. Your move.
No, you know what? You got to throw in Gergensons as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly. That
I know he's good at creating controversy and it's his job, but sometimes I'm like,
It's
God,
not.
Damien.
sometimes
You devil child.
Sometimes I legitimately think that he thinks these things are like intelligent thoughts.
Why would you tweet that Doughty one? I couldn't believe that one.
It
was let's do Taylor Hall and blah blah for Doughty and Quick or Subban and Price. I'm
No,
like, yo,
Hackett-
Price? Are you joking me?
Package Hall in the first. What? Okay, first of all, Hall in the first. What do you think? What do you think is fair market value for Taylor Hall and the first round pick that Edmonton has? Keep in mind they are third last right now. So Noah Hanlon.
What is a fair package if they're third? So you're getting Taylor Hall in a third?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Third overall. First round
Man, it's
pick.
going to be crazy outlandish, but like, I don't know. I'll automatically look to Arizona, not even go for their pick, like Ekman Larson, Domi, and Mike Smith. Maybe Mike Smith.
I would. That was kind of the lines that I was going to go. Was say probably Ekman Larson would be fair value for Hall, and then I think Domi kind of. You'd probably have to throw something else in there like Mikhail Balker.
There you go. See, now we're getting. It's like that's okay. That's still
fair
crazy,
deal.
but like
It's a fair deal.
yeah.
Because you're you now have Domi and Bodker. Okay, those guys fit in your lineup, and then you have Ekman Larson to fill in your back end.
Yeah.
It's a trade that could work out.
And
both
Coyotes
sides.
are already rebuilding, so why not bring in a young Hall who's already? I mean, he's already been
It
at
just
the book.
works.
Yeah.
It's not stupid.
Yeah.
But it's not even that. Like they just. I've been very disappointed. I'm tired of beating the dead horse at Sportsnet. Has just really been disappointed, and it sucks that there's guys I like that work for them, and it sucks that the TSN doesn't have it because with the 5 channels I can only imagine what one the playoffs would be and 2 what hockey would have been this year, because I can almost guarantee you every night or there would be 1 or 2 games on, and Sportsnet has a game on most nights. There's a lot of local blackout games because you got to keep those local blackout games.
I was so ticked off one night. Minnesota was playing Toronto, and it was like 1 of 2 games on, and it's like, oh, Sportsnet, and I have all the Sportsnet channels because I got the sports package. I go to click and it's like local blackout effect, and I was like, what the hell? Why? Like, why? It's dumb.
Here's the other thing that I've noticed, is if you've noticed their Scotiabank Sunday night games, if you've noticed their Wednesday night games, those are their 2 big nights other than Hockey Night in Canada, Sunday and Wednesday. They are mostly only Western teams.
Yeah.
Edmonton, Calgary was tonight, and it's a lot of Vancouver on all those, and then they'll play Montreal and the teams that are getting, and I guess Toronto gets there a fair bit, but Winnipeg and Ottawa have gotten the shaft in a lot of those games. Luckily, I think Winnipeg has it this week against Chicago. As far as I know of, they have it this week, but that's their 3rd time. Vancouver's had it 6.
Vancouver's, yeah.
And it's just like, okay, we understand Sportsnet. Okay, you're centered in Toronto, but you're more of a West thing because that's kind of how you started out, right?
Who's this?
Sportsnet. But like they just, just and I understand people hated Toronto or TSN because they played so much Toronto. But the thing was that was a team they could easily get rights to because Sportsnet had X amount of games, but they didn't have a ton. So they were easily accessible games to get nationally broadcasted. And then they got Montreal's contract split between both
RDS and TSN, yeah.
And then after that, they were lucky to get Winnipeg. But the reason why there were so many nationally broadcasted games for Toronto was because they didn't have a huge regional dedication. Because Canucks had a huge regional dedication to Sportsnet. And that's why you had so many of the nationally broadcasted games as Toronto for TSN. But you gotta admit, the broadcast quality is just so much better.
Oh, with
there
TSN
was no pregame show. There was no middle of the period stuff. There was nothing. I understand their telethon last night.
Oh yeah.
I understand the telethon was on, but it wasn't a hockey broadcast feel to me.
No, even TSN Jets, like first period they have Q&A, and then they do a wrap up. Second period they do
Lawless in Order.
Or
they bring in Ken Wiebe.
Or they do Ken Wiebe. They're both. I love they're both great. I like Wiebe a little more than Lawless, but Lawless, he's awesome.
The other thing too, though, that I noticed is like normally there's like interviews between like the player and somebody from the team.
They probably didn't have that last night because of...
Yeah, I
They probably
understand that.
neglected a lot of it because of the telethon last night.
Okay. Once again, not hating on the telethon, just kind of disappointed with what we saw. But once again, Jets lose, and all the other teams chasing them.
Win. I was
Like,
right. I was
you
reading.
can't get any help.
I was reading.
The chances of this happening is crazy.
Whoa! They went on a 5-game win streak, and they didn't gain ground on anyone. 5 games. That's 10 points. They didn't gain ground because everyone else won.
Yeah.
Every single buddy else won. And now, Minnesota's got a game in hand, and they're 3 points ahead of us. Woo!
No, they don't have a game in hand.
Oh, they don't? Well, whatever. They're 3 points because they
They're
won
3
last
points.
night.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
They're
That's
three.
awesome.
They're 3 points up. LA has a game in hand. They're 2 points back. And they played against New York and made New York look silly.
Didn't
last
they win
night.
like 7-2 or something like that? Who beat New York?
4-1.
Oh.
LA beat.
Oh, New
no,
York's just getting slapped lately.
New York beat Anaheim 7-2.
Oh, mama.
For me, it doesn't make sense. Like every team that they're chasing is just winning.
Yeah, you
And it's
read
like-
the articles. It's like,
funny.
oh, the Jets won last night, and so did Minnesota,
So-
Calgary, Vancouver, LA. You're like, what the hell? Come on, guys.
Where are the other teams losing?
Where do we go? Where do we go from here?
Ottawa hasn't lost in ages.
The
Like,
Hamburglar.
what is going on? Like, it's insane. Like, realistically, 98 points might not get you in the playoffs this year.
No, they're sitting at what? Not 88 right now.
88.
They have
9 games left.
9 games.
If they go 5-4, they could still miss the playoffs.
God damn you. Speaking of the thing that we're not supposed to mention,
I just
we're not-
mentioned it.
That's fine. Here's a silly question: is Bob Cole? Has he been doing games?
He does a couple games, but he's mostly done the Montreal games.
Is he
during
going to do
Saturday
playoffs?
night. Yeah. Sure.
Oh baby! Oh baby!
He's so
You're
good.
in for a game tonight.
Everyone hates on him because he.
Why would you
he
hate
misses-
Bob Cole? The only guy
Dan doesn't like him.
Really?
Yeah.
The one guy I have a mini hate on only because I'm like former Flame. Well, not even former.
Jim
but
Houston?
Flames fan, Jim Houston. Only because he's like, "Our Canucks score," and when the Flames scores, like, and the Flames score. I'm like, "Hey, we're here too, guys. We're here too."
Well, whatever. It's kind of.
But I still appreciate Jim Houston is very animated. I love it. Like, remember
Yeah.
his call when Bieksa scored on off the stanchion?
Yeah.
Was that against the Hawks or was
No, it was
against
against the Sharks to put him in the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
One of my
That was a weird one.
One of my favorite Jim Houston calls is actually when Burrows scored against Chicago in Game
Chris
7.
Campoli, where he blocked his clear.
And he's
I was so mad, but man, that was a good play. That was a real good play. But he just faked the
it was
shot.
funny because I was working with guys who are like Vancouver fans.
Yeah.
And Ben Smith had like a huge series, was just frustrating the Canadiens because Vancouver went up 3-0.
Ben Smith, you sure? He only started playing a couple years ago. He wasn't on that team when they
Yes,
won.
in
No
2011.
way.
In 2011,
No way.
for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Okay, whatever. You sure? Ben
Smith.
Eager, maybe?
No, it was Smith.
Really?
57 or something like that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Whatever. That's fine.
And he kind of started the resurgence because they were down 3-0, and then they tie it 3-3. One of the guys that I was working with was joking. He's like, "If Chicago wins this year, I'm gonna go buy a Ben Smith jersey. I don't fucking care." Like,
Really?
I'm gonna
You
go
know, that's
buy one.
awesome.
Because he's like,
I'm doing it. I'm done.
Well,
going
we had Canucks fans there too, and it was just like, man, it'll piss every one of them off so much because you just walk in with Ben Smith jersey.
Well, yeah, like a coworker of mine, he monster Canucks fan, monster,
Yeah.
and he's told me this story a bunch of times. Where like him and his friends are sitting in his friend's basement, and when that goal scored, he like jumped and was celebrating, like woke up the parents that came downstairs. They're like, "Hey, can you guys be quiet?" And they're like, "Oh, he's a Canucks fan." He's like, "Oh, sorry, no, keep on keeping on." But he said that year, if Canucks would have won the cup, he said he already had a jersey that he was going to put Burrows on and cup patch and everything. You know what? As much as we have a little a hate on for Burrows, for as a Canuck, not a Moose, Canuck, you'd love to have him on your team. Come on.
I don't know if I would.
Come on.
Could we talk 1 second about
Yeah.
Radom for Brada's sell last night?
Sell?
Like his acting performance when he got slashed by Toulouse.
I don't remember this.
And he pulled like the Alex Kovalev, and then
Well, he
next
plays
shift,
on the
and
team
he's
that's
like-
real good at it. Kessler,
One of my-
playoff run. You
one of-
remember that
yeah,
one?
But one of my favorite things is right before they scored their second goal, and I'm not trying to make
Was that his
excuses.
goal? Verbata's goal?
No, who scored it? Number 6 or so. I don't remember who it was.
Tanev?
No, it wasn't Tanev.
Sabisa?
No, wasn't any of those guys.
Dang.
I don't remember who it was.
Anyways, a player.
The player who scored it. No. But Verbata sells his call against Toulouse. Yes, it was a slashing call. Did he need to make it seem like he just got axed? No. He didn't. He made it seem like he just got... Oh, it was brutal. And then Jim Slater tries to clear a puck and then gets a stick right in the helmet, goes like this, touches his face. No call.
Jim Slater. I just have a low bone to pick again.
He shouldn't be a third-line center right now.
He shouldn't be a Jet, but whatever. He shouldn't be an NHL. But I keep having this nightmare.
I don't mind him that much.
My daydreams at work are the Flyers are going to sign Jim Slater. And we'll be stuck with him and the Cavalier for years to come.
6 years.
No, my bone to pick with him was Caps. They were up 2-0. He took a penalty with 2:20 left. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why? But yeah, Slater, though, the Jets don't get... Unfortunately,
the other thing to note about the Vancouver game, sorry to interrupt you. No, other thing to note, they just look gassed. I'm not going to blame this on Hutchinson. Mm-hmm. A lot of goals were tipped. Not going to blame it on him. Team was gassed. 3 games in 4 nights with, limited travel. But you're playing not a well-rested. They played Sunday night, but you're playing against a rested team.
At their home, and you're in a different time zone?
Yeah, exactly. It's a tough adjustment. It's not an easy thing. The fact they got 2 out of 4 is still great, and I think it's something that they can
build on.
And
apparently, but I mean, when you win 5 and you don't gain ground, ridiculous. Well, that's
eventually. You know what? It's eventually Devin Dubnyk started his 35th straight game last night.
Really?
Yeah. It's there's no way. Eventually, things are going to go south. The fact that he hasn't gotten hurt yet is pretty shocking. The other thing, too, is the fact that he's kept on his pace that he's on is outstanding.
Do you think they make the playoffs?
Minnesota?
Yeah.
I think... Unless Dubnyk gets hurt.
Name one of the 5, Winnipeg, Minnesota, Calgary, Vancouver, LA, who doesn't make it. Only one of them is not making it. And I'll go on record and say Sunday night... Me, Greg, and a few of our hockey friends went for wings, and I was all excited. I'm like, guys, Jets are in the playoffs. It's who they're playing. Because at the time, LA was 4 points back.
No, they're 2.
They're 2. But LA, they don't have a game in hand. It's just but then I started looking, I'm like, maybe I jumped the gun.
You did. LA's got an easy schedule, but they got a lot of road games. Minnesota's got a harder schedule than we do, but we still both have equally tough schedules. And no other team... you know what? Unfortunately, I'm going to say Winnipeg. And I think I said this last week. If you look, no other team is missing 2 top 6 players and their top pair of defensemen. No other team. Defenseman. The only notable guy missing out of any of those lineups is Slava Voinov. Only notable guy. Out of all those teams you just mentioned.
Minnesota's got everyone, I think.
Vancouver's not missing anyone.
Vancouver's got everyone.
Calgary,
Giordano.
Okay.
But have you seen the stats with Giordano and without? With Giordano, they have a win percentage of 4-5 something. Without him, it's 6-18 or something crazy.
But it was the same with Kane, right? There was a 580 versus 490 without him, right?
Yeah.
So it's all level competition, which they don't take into account in that situation. But yeah, right now I gotta say Winnipeg, just because of health reasons. But if Bufflin and Little come back and they can play the effective way that they were before, and I honestly think the reasons why they weren't in the games over the past little bit was because
those are winnable games, or they should have been.
It wasn't the sense that they were winnable. It was the sense that why change it if it's working?
Yeah.
So, last night they were gassed, and it's because you have guys, no offense to Jim Slater, you have a guy like Jim Slater who's used to 11 minutes a night playing 17, 18 minutes. It's strenuous, and you have him playing back-to-back nights of 34 minutes in 2 games in a in total,
back
right?
To back.
It's hard on a player when he's not used to that kind of minutes.
Well, especially when normally they play 6 because we don't know how to roll lines here in Winnipeg.
Yeah, so it's... Last night they did, and I was very happy with that. But the team was tired. It was very obvious. It was unfortunate. But it happens, and hopefully when they come home, they can have a good homestand. I think this is the most crucial homestand of the year, period. They need to get... I think they're home for 4 straight now. They play Montreal,
sir.
Chicago,
New York,
and Vancouver at the end of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, mom.
Yeah. Right?
Oh, yeah.
They need to have 6 of 8. They need 6 of 8 in this stretch.
Who do you give them the loss to then? Rangers? Seems like Rangers aren't doing...
No,
they just thumped. Yeah, and what am I talking about?
I feel like they can beat the Rangers because they've been able to beat the Rangers in the past. I think they can beat Vancouver at home. But I also think they can beat Chicago on Sunday. It's Montreal. They've never done well against Montreal.
Montreal's good.
And here's the thing. This is my prediction for
They're
Thursday
playing
night.
Tokarski. They already announced it.
I'm gonna make a bleak announcement here. It's not gonna be great. Pavlik's gonna start. He's gonna let in 4 goals, and the city's gonna turn on him. That is what I'm fearing for that game.
It's
on
clockwork.
Thursday.
We've seen it. It's a pattern.
And then Hutchinson goes in against Chicago, dominates, and they're like, "We're back on the Hutch train.
Yeah.
Hutch is clutch."
Hutch is clutch. I saw someone last night.
Okay.
Hashtag Hutch is not clutch.
Yeah. And then we go into that really tough road stretch. But I feel it starts with this homestand for the Jets. 4 games, possible 8 points, and need 6, which would bring them to a total of 94. Did you know that if the Jets had won last night, Central Division had 5 teams and 90 points. The Atlantic Division, or the Pacific Division, 1.
Anaheim. How many are they at?
99 right now.
Really?
Unless they played tonight and won. Is that not insane?
The disparity of conferences.
Like we discussed it. We know that Central's tough. They're the only division, and I think if Colorado plays tonight, they could be the only division with nobody with less than 80 points. Right now, their lowest team is Colorado with 78.
That's ridiculous. Have you seen? Because what is it? Buffalo's at 46.
The thing is too,
30,
it's
just terrible.
on a regular year, in a normal year, when you're 8 points back of a team, or even 10, and you keep winning the way that both Dallas and Colorado have. Dallas, tonight, they're going for 9 straight road wins. 9 straight.
Really?
Well, with Kari Lettinen in net.
That's
still
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's maybe 9 of 11.
And they're still not. They're not even close to.
They're
that.
8 points back, and no one's saying, "Oh, watch out for Dallas." No one's saying that because it's so.
They're in the Central. It's like, no, you pooch. You're done. It's over. Wow.
I don't think we'll ever is the division just that good, or is this an anomaly year where there's just not a team that's shitty in the Central?
I think it's the division, and I hate to go back to old Jets because I know you've heard your parent, your dad, and your grandpa, everyone who watched hockey back in the day. This is going to be Winnipeg Jets, the peril, the flight of the Jets and peril that it is. When they made playoffs, we could have won it, but we had to play Edmonton, or we beat Calgary, but we had to play Edmonton. It's going to be like this forever. It's going to be we beat Dallas, but we had to play LA, but we had to play St. Louis, but we had to play Chicago. It's always going to be like that. It's realistically, we're in the reality right now that it is. It's, you just got to catch them flat-footed. I don't know. That's the only way you're going to win.
They have I think if they can get the solid goaltending of either goalie at the best they've played this season. So at Pavlik's first star of the week this week, if he can play like that, they could go deep with him because I think they have a decent team depth-wise, skill-wise, and being able to score big goals. I think they have the team there. The biggest thing that scares me is their goaltending because we've seen inconsistencies in there all year. And I think this is the time, and especially when the stakes are bigger, and the stakes are higher, and it's just, are they going to be able to, one, take that to the next level and have a consistency for a 7-game series, 6-game series, against a team that's going to be playing at another level?
That we don't even
comprehend.
We don't know what the other level is. We've never been there.
Yeah, I was watching TSN, and I kind of agree with this point. We had the predisposition at the beginning of the year, or the thought, that Jets weren't going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They were going to be terrible.
We were going to contend with Nashville for bottom.
Now, here it is. And I agree with what Gino Reda said. Or was it Gino Reda? I think it was Gino
Someone
Reda.
on TSN.
On That's Hockey. And he stated, Jets have been playing playoff hockey since mid-October. And this might be what they're going to be like in the playoffs. And I'm worried that teams like Anaheim and St. Louis can, one, figure them out. 2, we're seeing regular season Anaheim or midway into the postseason Anaheim that's not at their peak, and I feel the Jets are there or very close to it.
I'm with you on that.
And I'm a little worried that we'll just not be able to compete at that next level. However, with that being said, do I think that any result, getting to the playoffs, whether it's I really hope it's a 5-game series just so they get that one franchise win.
I give it, realistically, say hypothetically they make it. Okay?
Yeah.
Whoever they're playing, I'm
Whether
picking
it's-
against them. Sorry, I'm betting money on that. If I'm betting money, I'm picking against them. Of course, in my heart, I want
the
them
Jets
to win.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's going to be a 6 or 7 game series. I'm giving them 2.
It's-
I'm giving them. You're not taking them at home.
No.
You're not doing it.
No.
You're not. Fine. Sorry. Correction.
I got the best
I'm
news
giving
today,
them
too.
the first game here. No. That's a win for the Jets. No, I don't care who it is. I don't even know how to comprehend what it'll be like, even watching. But you're not beating the Jets that first game at home. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. No,
people were saying
I bet my life savings you're not doing
that's fine.
it. But sorry, go.
Well, no,
I'm just getting too excited. I'm getting goosebumps.
People said that when Montreal came here in the first game. That was their thought was, there's no way Montreal's going to win this game because they just came off a Toronto game that they lost. It was back-to-back. They went from Toronto to Winnipeg. And then Montreal silenced that crowd. What a team needs to do to take the crowd out of it is they just need to score early and play a slowed-down version. Now,
you don't even need to score early.
The great thing about the Jets is I always have faith in them to be able to score, to be able to turn the puck over, do something. And as soon as you get the crowd in that game, oh boy, oh my God.
You know who's...
It's crazy because I think I'm going to say there's a small percentage of maybe 5% of Canada, probably 20% of NHL fans, and I'm going to say of that 20%, 95% of those fans are LA fans and don't want the Jets to make it. Like, there's a very small percentage that don't want the Jets to make it.
Everyone
wants it to see what happens when we have playoff hockey.
They want to just see what happens. It's like, that's like one of those, like, where you're with your friends, you're at a party, and someone's about to do something stupid, or just, you don't know what's going to happen, and you're like, maybe we should stop him. It's like, no, wait.
We need to see this.
I just want to see it for like half a second. I want to see what it's like. Oh, jeez. See, that's one thing. As you said, we need a goal or something, and then our crowd will go crazy. We'll get him back, but we're missing the best one of them all at getting Jets fans into the game.
Dancing Gabe?
No, that
Mickey
man
Mouse.
is Dustin Byfuglien.
Oh, I know.
Dustin Byfuglien. I'm getting goosebumps.
Okay.
I don't know. I've seen every NHL team at the MTS Center. So I know I've seen at least 40 games. I'm not trying to boast. I've seen more, but I know the number is for sure at 40. At least in any game that I've seen Byfuglien playing, at least once in that game, whether it's a team, whether it was the Jets or a team I was cheering for, like the Flyers, at least once in that game, Dustin Byfuglien gets the crowd into it. Whether with a deke or a hit or just goal or scoring and just like throwing the monkey off his back or just staring or something. He does it. I don't even know what playoffs would be like. I just said it. I shouldn't.
It's fine. The thing with Dustin Byfuglien is from the second that he got here, I was at that first preseason game, once again, not trying to boast, against Columbus.
No, not at all.
Where within the first 15 seconds,
Oh,
he had already laid out
Matt Calvert. That was so awesome. No offense, Matt, but that was amazing.
And then him and Mark Stewart got into a fight. That was the best. And I'm like, I'm telling the guy next to me, I'm like, he's our asshole. He's our asshole.
He's a big one, too. He's very scary, very intimidating.
And I feel like, oh, man. Honestly, if I want a team to play in the first round, if the Jets get there, is Anaheim. And why do I want that, Cameron? Byfuglien versus who? Who's that matchup you want Byfuglien against?
Corey Perry.
No.
Ryan Getzhaf.
I do want that matchup, but what's the
Ryan
other
Getzhaf.
matchup? What's the other matchup? Who's the other centerman?
Nope. No way.
Yeah.
Ryan Kessler is going to shadow Wheeler. That'll be his job.
Like, Kessler versus Byfuglien.
Oh, again.
Goes back to Vancouver, Chicago.
Oh, they really don't like each other.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm hoping we get Anaheim. Only because, say the 3 options. Playoffs. St. Louis, Anaheim, Nashville, Chicago.
Yeah,
okay?
Chicago's probably out of it.
Fine, not Chicago.
Well,
fine. Out of those
they're
3.
7. Okay, they're 5 points back. but they've been 5 points back. Like
Who's that?
Chicago from.
No, but we'd
St.
still
Louis.
play them though. That's one of the teams, right? Possibly.
Oh,
but
you mean
no.
like,
Let's count St. Louis, Anaheim, Nashville. Okay?
Yeah.
Those are the 3 teams we could play.
Potentially, depending on what happens in the division.
Let's go to St. Louis. We can match up against them, but I don't like the depth they have. They'll take it.
You know what?
Hold on.
Here's the thing, though.
Yep.
I say we're on the same level as them as goaltending because you don't know what you're getting.
Well,
with
that's
Brian
what I'm
Elliott.
going. No, that's why I'm going to Anaheim.
Okay.
Anaheim. It's very scary depth. They know playoff hockey.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just going to name 4 players right now, okay? You have to take the lesser of 2 evils. I already know your answer. Okay, Frederick Anderson, John Gibson, Pavlik, Hutchinson. I mean, I'm taking Pavlik Hutchinson if there's a gun to my head. I mean, I'm taking Pavlik Hutchinson.
But what
They're
if you
lesser
take
of 2 evils?
What if you take Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin off the team? Would that make the team equal, or
No, well then you have to take Corey Perry and Ryan Getzlaf, right? And then we have to take away Slater and Thorburn.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, hey,
as
that's
a
how that works.
solution.
Yeah, naturally. Yeah. But,
or this. Or this. Okay? Best case scenario. Would you rather play Anderson, Gibson, Elliott, Allen in both scenarios? Guys who've kind of stood out as number ones but haven't really proven themselves as elite. Sophomore goalies that have at times done very well, but also not really sustainable success or like continued success. Or Pecorino.
Yeah. Well, see, that's you can't solve a hot goalie. Nashville ain't doing the greatest right now, but it's Pecorino.
It's fucking Rene.
That's the only proper way to pronounce it. That's how we're doing it from here on out. It's Pekka fucking Rene, okay? He's 7-0-1 against the Jets. You don't think he's coming into our building game 3, say hypothetically game 3, thinking, oh yeah, hot shit, here we go. It's over. We're up 2-0.
We're already up 2-0.
That's what he's going to do on us.
1.03 goals against.
You know what he's going to do every chance he gets on a 2-on-1? He's going to hold that glove in the air like Patrick Waugh, but he'll hold that puck and be like, look what I did. Look it. Come grab it. Come reach it from me. Oh, that's right. No one's tall enough to reach it. Oh, damn it, Tyler Myers. Get away, Tyler. Get away from me, Tyler. No, my fuck. Oh.
No, this is, and it's you know what?
How many more podcasts until we officially find out?
2 more.
2 more.
Next
and you know what? We're going to be hot and cold. Right now, we're saying they're not in it. Right now.
Officially. Okay, so there's next week and the week after brings us with like 2 games left in the season.
Well, and then
we should know by then.
Playoffs start April 13th.
And then April 12th we'll do our preview show.
We're going to do the preview show.
We're doing a preview show.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
yeah.
Are you sure?
April, last game of the season's
15th.
on the 11th.
No, last game of the season's 13th.
No, the 11th.
Or no, the 12th.
Pull it up.
Oh, no. Okay,
no, this is very important. I need to know this.
Maybe it's the 11th. But
check.
I have a feeling that playoffs start either 14th or 15th.
You should probably check. This is very important.
14th or 15th.
No, because there's someone I know doing a project right now, and I've given them false information. You should really check this right now.
Okay.
Go check.
Okay.
I want to keep my fingers and knuckles. I want to keep them.
Last game of the regular season
11th.
is the 11th.
So-
However, playoffs normally don't start till the following Wednesday.
No, they start the following Monday.
So they're either going to start the 14th or the 15th. Is my perspective. Is
Are
my
you sure
thought.
it's the 14th or 15th?
I can check for you.
Please go check. Uh-oh.
Why?
Just cuss. I'm not naming names, but I really want to keep my knuckles and fingers on this one. Okay, well, while you're doing that, I just want to say congratulations to Dave Lowry, father of Adam, Jungle Dave Lowry, who was named head coach of Team Canada for the upcoming World Junior Hockey. So that's awesome. He's a head coach of Victoria Royals. Who's on Victoria Royals? Joe Hickett, so expect him to be there. The Jets signed Jimmy Lodge and Jan Kostelik to entry-level contracts. As I said right before we started recording, the 2013 draft for the Jets is going to be the one that'll set them apart and make them in the upper echelon of the 7 teams in the Central, because that's apparently who we're battling forever. Jimmy Lodge was drafted in the 3rd round, 84th overall, 2013. Jan Kostelik, 4th round, 114, 2013. Oh, no. Tell me what.
14th or 15th.
Real? I've seen
14th and I've seen 15th. I have not seen 13th. So I don't think it's been confirmed.
Oh, I've made a grave mistake.
But we're not
I didn't know. I thought it would always started the following Monday.
No, because normally the season ends on a Saturday or Sunday, and then they want to allot time for everybody to
Get
party on the Saturday, recover, travel, have a practice.
We don't party in hockey. This isn't baseball.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
don't party.
Or football. They're all good. They're all good people.
Do they don't celebrate in football, do they, when they win like conference, or do they?
No, they don't
I wouldn't know.
celebrate.
My teams don't make it there. So I mean,
Well, I don't even think they celebrate when they like score a point, a thing.
oh, okay. So yeah, they obviously celebrate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, baseball. That's one thing that's really I've never understood. It's like, yeah, wild card, we won. We're going to the playoffs. It's like, wait, what? Why are you celebrating you're going to the playoffs?
You know what?
Celebrate when you win it all. Like, that's weird. Never understood.
There's a thought that I had, and obviously we're running short on time, but that's fine.
Go. Do it. Let me have it.
Would you be opposed to the wild card teams playing an actual wild card series, like best of 3 or something like that, to get in, opposed to the way it is now? But the problem that I have there is, what do you add 2 more teams, or is it, do you add 2 more teams and maybe they play 1 game to get in? Because right now you could honestly argue that LA deserves to be there, and you could probably make a case that Dallas would deserve to be there.
Hold on, how are you doing that? What do you mean?
So, per conference.
So there's one wild card spot that you win, someone gets it. So say hypothetically Jets are there right now.
So
boom, they make it. The next slot, the bottom 2 teams would make.
So what I mean is you have Minnesota and Winnipeg. They would each get a wild card game. Minnesota would play against Dallas. We would get LA. The winner of that game goes in the playoffs to play in those series from then on.
But they play each other 3 times?
They play each other once or 3 times.
Or a 1-game playoff?
Or a 1-game playoff. To
I
make
don't like
it
the
a little
playoff.
bit.
I like
make
the 3
it
games.
a little bit more exciting.
But I do like the 1-game wild card playoff. That'd be pretty sweet.
But it's the one game that you could play like shit and lose. And then boom, there goes your playoffs. And you finished ahead of them in the standings. It would be exciting, but it'd be shitty. And it's just one of those things where, would the league be interested in that?
I'd be okay with, well, it'd be more revenue.
It'd be more revenue.
But here's the thing. So you give them the 3 days, they play that game, and then say they could play that night, and then boom, the next day they play again.
Or something like that. Or
I'm okay with that. I'd be... Okay, sure. I'd be okay with that right now, because, I mean...
Jets are there.
Jets are there.
In the sense where it's like... It's an idea, but then that means that
you could lay off the
20 of 30 teams would get in.
Yeah.
So it's a decent idea, because I like what baseball has done, but it's because they only allow a limited number of teams in the league.
8.
Yeah.
Formerly
exactly.
8.
Well, now 10.
Yeah.
Of 30 teams.
Yeah.
So it
I don't
works
like the
in
amount
baseball,
of games they play either.
but it'd be not like... I'd love it in hockey, but it's just unrealistic to think 20 of 30. But I just thought that was an interesting thought to bring up.
That'd be pretty sweet.
It would be an interesting thing, but is it really like, would teams get on board? And that came about because GMs are changing some things potentially.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that last week.
We did not,
No.
because we're talking about other shit.
Yeah.
Because Dan just is a terrible...
Well,
person.
we were all talking to it. But, they officially ruled in that the first 4 minutes, I think, well, if it's going to be like the AHL for overtime, the first 4 minutes will be 4-on-4, and then the closest whistle to the 3-minute mark, they're going to change to 3-on-3, and then you have 3 minutes of 3-on-3. And fun fact about that, 70% of games that have gone to overtime in the AHL, because they're testing it out there, have ended in overtime instead of a shootout. Which, please, I've already know they've okayed it. Thank you, base God. Why? The Flyers, ever since the shootout has started, statistically the worst team ever.
Oh, really?
In the terrible in the shootout.
Now, here's the thing, too, is what's more exciting to watch? A game that ends on a crazy overtime goal or the shootout? The crazy overtime goal is more exciting.
You can have Patrick Kane come down on a guy like, hypothetically, Jonathan Roth. Guess who I'm betting on every time? Jonas Enroth. No, Patrick Kane.
Okay, and this goes back to freaking every team winning that we need to lose. Freaking Minnesota plays against the Islanders last night. That was one of the best teams.
I thought you were going to kick it old school and say, I don't like the overtime point. Why? Year 1? Florida. 21 times?
Again this year. But the Jets have 12.
That's true.
Jets
so
have
that's
12.
what's keeping us afloat.
That's what kind of keeping us afloat. However,
I don't like
I think if the Jets make the playoffs, it'll be a miracle, because no team, I think, has ever been statistically so bad in games where they trail after 2 periods.
What's their record right now? They're not even 500, I don't think.
Who, the Jets?
If you count all their points,
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
I'm pretty sure they are, yeah. But to your point.
Yes. No, statistically,
statistically,
they're real bad.
They're like 119-3 when trailing after 40.
So basically, what a team has to do to beat the Jets is have a
They're
lead.
38-36.
And
No, 38-36.
Oh,
If
okay.
you add their overtime losses to
38-36.
to give you a perspective, Minnesota would be 42-32.
Oh my goodness
LA
gracious.
LA would be 36-37. LA has 14 overtime and shootout losses this year.
That's because they have guys like Kopitar that could just and Drew Doughty. Actually, is Doughty even good in shootout?
I don't know.
Oh man, they're
Okay, mister. Oh, Florida has all these overtime losses. How many overtime losses does Philadelphia have right now?
I know they have a lot. I don't know. It's a big number, like 18, 19.
16.
16, yeah.
Most in the NHL.
Whatever.
It's okay. Florida has 14.
Yeah, you take away those 16, guess what? We're in Tank Nation, baby. We're in Tank Nation. Give me that.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
our Mikhail Finarov watch.
Yeah.
Finarovner watch. Even though I don't think Provorov is going to go.
Yeah, we have to
anywhere
take him
near
out. We have to take him out. So it's
So,
now the Mikhail
it's-
Finarner watch.
No.
Oh, new one.
Mikhail Stromner watch.
Mikhail Stromner watch. Nice.
Yes.
Like your style.
And why did I include Dylan Strome? Because he's leading the OHL in scoring.
He won the OHL scoring title. The
Yes.
season's over now. Playoffs, right?
And Mitch Marner is number 2 in that category. Funny thing from Bob McKenzie, he pulled 8 scouts that were apparently at the OHL game. He said,
Oh, yeah.
who do you take? 4 of them picked Dylan Strome, 4 of them picked Mitch Marner. So Bob McKenzie, shit. Didn't actually say it, but this is all tweeted by him. And then he didn't say shit, though. And then he's like, oh, 9th scout here. Asked him. He picked Dylan Strome. 10th scout showed up. He said Mitch Marner. Stalemate. So really, okay, you have the top. Okay, so you have 1, which is in its own class. There's no way Connor McDavid is not going to go 1. Then you have 2, 3. Most likely, let's be honest.
Really
here.
depending on who's drafting, but in reality, it's Eichel. And then
Hannafin. And then you just have like a
crapshoot of what do you need?
It's a what do you need, but I think it's going to be Strome then Marner. And then from there it's okay.
They're all over the place.
Yeah, because like Provorov is there. There's
Pavel Zacha. There's Mikko Rantanen.
There's still Lawson Krause, who was highly
Zach
touted earlier.
Wierenski. There's a bunch of guys.
There's the guy that you want the Flyers to draft, Killington.
Oliver Killington has slipped so far, but
Yeah,
I still want him there.
Yeah.
He's still up there in my heart.
So there's still like lots of potential for like movement, obviously, and which leads us into the current standings in the NHL.
Yes,
The bottom teams right now:
Yep.
Buffalo,
Yep.
Arizona, Edmonton, Toronto,
And then Carolina.
I believe it's Carolina.
Toronto's in 4 now.
They've been in 4 for a couple
How
weeks
dare
now.
you? You know what's scary is that that NHL draft lottery simulator game. I hit it 10 times. LA won it once.
Now
LA won it once. Why? No, I don't like that rule.
Here's the thing.
He shouldn't be allowed.
And I'm praying. Please, Lord Jeebus, base God, anyone.
Base God, yeah. yeah.
Edmonton is 5 points back at Toronto. Please, I beg of you, please let Edmonton take over Toronto's spot. Why?
Noah Hannafin?
No, a higher chance to get either McDavid or Eichel.
Okay, fine. You lose out on 1, 2. You land 3.
I don't know if they want Hannafin, but I would take Hannafin because then it makes Jake Gardner disposable, which means you can trade Jake Gardner.
Or I don't know. And we could go into this so deep, but
we're time constrained.
Fine.
Wait, no, we're not, because let's be honest here. We've got
all the time in the world.
We have all the time in the world.
Okay,
we can make part 1, part 2 of this.
We potentially could. Okay.
Part 1, Jets. Part 2, all the other teams.
Everything else. Exactly. We talked a lot today. Now we're talking in like we're breaking the fourth wall here.
That's fine.
And even a Mocha, my dog.
Wow, he was pissed. He's like, no. Okay, wow.
Both my Mocha. Who names a dude guy Mocha? Just saying, that's real weird.
Why, if she was a he, would you name it something else?
If she was a he, he would have been named Grohl.
Grohl. After
Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna throw. You get 3rd pick. All right.
Okay.
Arizona comes knocking to town, and they say, we'll give you Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Mike Smith, but you have to give us the rights to Bernier and your third pick.
No.
No?
No. Because they don't want Mike Smith.
See, I got you so excited. You're like, oh my God, yes. 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 Give me Ekman-Larsson.
I heard
yes.
it.
Yes.
I heard
it's the
jersey. I heard Ekman-Larsson. I'm like,
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That would look so good on the back of a Leaf jersey. But
he's like fourth all time in franchise goals for a defenseman. Like in a season.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's at like 18 or 19. It's crazy.
No, I think if Arizona comes knocking on the door.
I love how we're going to Arizona. We've gone to him like 3-4 times.
No, here we go.
Go.
If Arizona comes knocking on the door, they're like, although it's a table, so it would be like, hey Dave, but we'll knock on wood for this.
Okay.
We'll give you Max Domi, Oliver Ekman-Larsson for your third pick, and
Kylie Bozeman.
No, I wouldn't go Tyler Bozak. I would say
wait, Kessel.
No, that's too high. Too much.
Too much? Okay.
Oh
wait, you're taking Toronto. Yeah, what did you just offer?
Okay, Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Yep.
For the third pick. To Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Max Domi. For the third pick. And Nazem Kadri.
And you'd bite on that?
I would bite on that.
Really? Ekman-Larsson and Domi, though?
Okay.
Ekman-Larsson, yeah, but... Oh, man.
Because you've had issue... Oh, do you think Arizona wouldn't do that?
No. I think they would. I'm just thinking, like, for Domi and Toronto. Ugh, I wouldn't want to deal with that headache.
But they're already dealing with Nazem Kadri's headache, and it'd be nice to kind of maybe get Domi, and then his dad would probably smarten him up a little bit, maybe, you'd hope.
You think he'd wear 28?
I think he'd wear whatever number he wears right now.
16?
Yeah.
Not retired? Sure.
No, because somebody wore it last year. You know what? The Leafs keep signing college guys. I'm okay with this. I like this college signing. They signed a couple college guys. I think Casey Bailey, they just signed.
Yeah, and then some other
Bailey, some guy. I think it's Casey Bailey. I think that's his name, or his last name.
And you're okay with it because?
Whatever. They're getting more young guys and trying them out. They're so historically bad. It's amazing. And people love it because the Leafs are doing bad. I love it because they have a chance to get either Connor McDavid, Jack Eichel. And I'm sorry, if I'm the Leafs, I don't want that third pick just because of Noah Hannafin. It's not that I don't want Noah Hannafin. It's I like Jake Gardiner. Involved. I like Jake Gardiner, and I like Morgan Rielly. Mm-hmm. They have two guys who are very skilled offensively. They don't need to add a third.
I don't think Hannafin will be there next year. I don't think Eichel will be in the NHL next year.
You don't think so? Too small?
Depends on what team he goes to. No, I don't know. I just don't. I think he needs. I don't. You can't send.
Here's
him.
what.
Oh wait, you could sign him and put him to the A.
Yes.
Because he's NCAA.
Yes.
Nope, he's there. He'll be in the A.
Here's what
depending on what
I would love is if the Leafs stay in 4, they draft at 4, they get Dylan Strome, and they say, "Okay, Dylan, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our future second line." Or future first line. We're going to play you guys about 30 games in the AHL. Connor Brown, Nylander, Strome.
You can't. You have to sign him to junior. CHL ruling.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Damn it.
The only way that works is if you get Eichel. Would you take Eichel at 2? Would you take Eichel at 2?
Yes.
Okay.
No, wait. So what if...
If they're 20 or under and they play in the CHL, you have to send them back. You cannot...
Okay, so even if he plays his over... Like, let's say he plays like 14 games in the NHL.
You have to send him back.
You have to send him back?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
You burn the contract, which is...
Okay.
Namely Buffalo with Grigorenko. Like, God...
Or friggin' Draisaitl with Edmonton, which is even worse than
They didn't send them to World Juniors! Why? Come on. Give us a gift of Leon.
But no, like, I think it'd be a nice... I think that's a future second or first line for Toronto. If Connor Brown...
Strome, Brown, Nylander?
Nylander. I think that's a future second line.
Second?
Maybe more. Well, I don't know if Brown's a first liner. That's my...
It's true.
I don't want to be super optimistic. Maybe that's the start of their first line. Or maybe it's Nylander, Kessel, Strome.
It's a beautiful start.
It is a start. And that's what... It's something that I think works for them best. Because Strome's a little bit bigger of a center. I think he's better than Rich Marner. In the sense that he's bigger. And they already have a small guy in Nylander.
And Nylander's already been compared to Patrick Kane, allegedly.
Yeah.
So, like, why would you want to bring two winger-type, smaller guys? Say if they drop to, like, No, say if they go 5th. No, 6th. I'll go 6th.
Who do you go?
All those guys are gone. Like, okay, I'll just name McDavid, Eichel, Hannafin, Strome, Marner.
All gone.
Mikko Rantanen. Do you go Rantanen? Or do you go Provorov at that point?
I don't. Once again, Provorov, another offensive defenseman. You don't need that. I think you go Rantanen.
Or Pavel Zache is a center too.
It's
a little high for
who
him,
the
I think.
other guy is. Like, I could see them taking a gamble at Krause at that point.
Oh, right.
At
Why do I
6?
keep forgetting him?
Because
he really slipped off.
No one looks at him, and people, I think he's suffering from the Sean Couturier factor right now. Because people don't see him as a top-end talent. They see him as that middle-of-the-road kind of
second line, third line, grinder, playmaker.
But I think for any team rebuilding, for any of the bottom 5 teams, for any of those teams, I think it goes beyond the first round for them. This is the biggest issue with Edmonton. If you look historically, they have not drafted well from rounds 2 to 7. They just haven't.
Yeah, no, I'm trying. And all their guys.
We were talking before this draft, or we were talking before the podcast. If you look at the guys the Jets signed, those are guys they drafted in 2013, was it?
Yes, sir.
And that was the same year that they drafted Morrissey, right?
Yeah.
Morrissey, Patan,
Comrie,
Lodge,
Kostelec.
and Kostelec.
Yeah.
That's 5 guys now that are probably going to play for this team for in the
At
next
least
4 years.
they will play. They'll play.
They'll probably play.
Yeah. Edmonton, they won't.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't get that development in Edmonton, and that's the thing with all these teams. And I know sometimes I talk about Toronto a lot. It's because I'm a really big Toronto fan. But the thing is you have to be able to draft not only the gimme picks but the other guys. Like Toronto drafted Connor Brown, 6th round pick, and he's turning out to be pretty good. You gotta win some of those battles sometimes. James Reimer, 4th or 5th round pick, turned out pretty good so far. But for any of these teams, Buffalo included, they need it. They can't just have, okay, well, we draft this guy first round, he's a stud. You need to have deeper round picks. So we can debate here as much as we want about how deep that first, how good it would be to have one of these 7 guys, one of these 8 guys.
But it goes deeper.
And it goes deeper than that.
And the good teams understand that. Chicago, Chicago, LA, Boston, Winnipeg, like Detroit, obviously the Mac Daddy of them all.
And I hope Winnipeg joins that. You know, they're going to have 2 draft picks
in that first round.
So I could see them playing with one, trying to get a guy. Originally, I would have thought maybe they were going to try to flip Tyler Myers. How do you not keep him now after the way he's played this season?
Oh, the crowd loves him too.
Oh my God, everyone loves him in Winnipeg.
I see a lot of Myers jerseys nowadays.
Yeah. Still thinking about that Toulouse jersey after his goal last night.
Really? I saw him live, and I actually said to you,
yeah.
I was like, I don't know, I should go back on the podcast and take back my word. I would take Stafford. I'd go with Dan and take Stafford at this point.
You know what? And I'm cool with Stafford for League. I think those 2 guys are great.
I still like Toulouse.
If it comes down to, okay, we only have $8 million to spend on 2 guys, and for League wants 5, then you got to pretty much take Toulouse because you're not getting Stafford for 3.
You could get Stafford.
I don't know.
I think he's on the decline. He's 31, isn't he?
But he's got $4 million this year, and what has he done to prove to you that he's not worth $4 million next year, or for 2 years?
Good point.
That's just like he's
not. That's a great point.
I know. I'm just saying he's not done anything to prove to us that his value's declined. It would be great if they could sign all 3. It'd also be okay if they didn't because it might make room for a guy like Ehlers to walk in and do great things. Or more. Oh,
all this hope they're
all we
selling
can
us is
think,
terrible.
I just the amount of like positives that like yes, it's so nice that they're in this year, but just think what it's going to be like when they're in like a Nashville situation or a St. Louis situation where they have so much stability in the standings where it's like, okay, we lost a game. Oh well, we're still going to make it to the playoffs.
That'll be nice.
Closing words. Or do you have anything else to take it to?
No, Oh, yeah. Congratulations to Winnipeggers. Jonathan Taves, who scored his 500th NHL point.
Yes.
3 players from the 06 draft have surpassed 500 points.
Okay.
Nicholas Backstrom, first leading the pack with 566 points. Bill Kessel with 513. Taves at...
but I thought he was lazy. I didn't think he was actually a good hockey player.
Yeah, Taves at 500 and Ginger Jesus at 444.
Okay.
He's... Oh, yeah. Eric
Brewer played his 1,000th game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think he's disappointed that it was with Toronto.
Yes, sir. Yeah, maybe. Joel Quenneville is now third in wins as a coach,
I saw
750. He's behind Al Arbor's 782, which he will pass, and Scotty Bowman at 1,244. So he's never passing that.
Good luck.
And yeah, other Winnipegger, Cody Eakin, along with Alex Galchenyuk, but Cody Eakin, Winnipeg, got his 100th NHL point the other night. So that's awesome. Yeah.
Lee Stepniak played in his 700th game last night.
Yes.
700th game.
700th game.
Okay.
And Stamkos hit the 40-goal plateau for the fourth time in his career. You know what? I know back in the day was a golden era scoring, but I still appreciate what Stamkos and Ovechkin did. And I kind of like the era that I'm glad the era I'm born in terms of like back in the day, every team would have like 50 goal scorers. Now it's like we get to cherish them a little more.
Yeah, we do.
Because they're not even a dime a dozen now. They're
it's so rare.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
Yeah, and you can appreciate what guys
Yes, you're appreciating what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's great.
And it's crazy to think that Stamkos and Ovi, on the power play, they do one thing, and that's just high hash mark, high circle, top of circle, and they hammer it home. You know it's coming, you can't stop it. It's like a freight train.
Yep. Very true.
Yep, but those are my closing words. Congratulations, Cody Eakin and Jonathan Davis.
I have one question
involved.
for you. What is going to be your favorite letter come April 11th?
My favorite letter?
Favorite letter.
Letter.
April 11th.
What do you mean letter? Like alphabet?
Yeah, what letter what letter would you like to see most April 11th when you look in the standings and see Winnipeg's name?
C. Clinched.
Well, X is the
actual...
actual...
X. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask me to pick between Calgary and Winnipeg.
No.
Because we all want to see a Calgary Canucks series, let's be honest. There's a reason I didn't throw out my Flames jersey. Or I bought a snapback last year.
I'm going to be honest. I hate Vancouver. I hate their fan base.
I saw your tweet. I was going to ask you about that.
God.
Why do you hate them? I hate them a lot, but like it's not hate. It's more of like dislike because they just mop the floor with the Flames for so long.
I hate their fan base so much.
Yeah, why?
I just don't like
They're
them.
complacent. What are you talking about? They're nothing. The people who rioted are not Canucks
No,
fans.
I'm not. I hated them long before that.
Why though?
Okay, well, I hate the team because of the diving and all that bullshit that they went through. I hate the fans just because...
Hate's a real strong word, but okay.
Strongly... It's a hate. It's actually hate. It's the way some people feel towards Toronto Maple Leafs fans. Okay. That's the way I feel towards Vancouver.
Why, Toronto Maple Leafs fans, it's like a potato sack. Like, if you get what you give... And no, I'm not making fun of them. I'm saying, like, they can take it all. They've heard it all.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I can't even... I barely make funny anymore for the Leafs. I just can't. It's just... But like, I kind of like them now.
It's... The thing is, like, I look at Vancouver, and I just don't like them. I don't like the team. I don't like a lot of the guys on the team. I don't like the fans. The fan hatred, I don't know where it started from.
They somehow have an arrogance about them.
It does.
And it's
like,
it oozes. You're not even word Canucks stuff. You're like, you're a fan of a team I really don't like, and I know it.
Today, at school.
Oh, here we go.
Saw a guy in a Canucks jersey, wearing fucking, I loved Kevin Bieksa when he was a Moose. I hate him now. Don't know why.
Yeah.
But just dislike him strongly. And I see a guy in a Bieksa jersey at school. I'm like, and he's just kind of like proud.
You just
he's
get mad.
Proud. I'm like, I want to hit you in the face because that. You know what? You explained it perfectly. Vancouver fans are arrogant because, and I think it's the same thing with why people hate Toronto fans and why people hate Montreal fans. It's the arrogance of the city itself. I'm from here.
Okay.
Look at me. I'm better than everyone else.
Oh, yeah,
right?
okay.
It's that
I thought
type
you were
going to
go the era of they have history. And I'm like, my ass, Vancouver has history. Toronto and Montreal have you at least have somewhat of a reason to be arrogant. Because, yeah, you do have, like, wins in franchise.
No, it's the city arrogance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
No, I totally agree.
So, are we both going out on the closing words of we dislike the Vancouver Canucks and all their fans and everyone involved?
Hey, if you're a Vancouver Canuck fan and you want to serenade us with love, I'm fine with it. Does not make me
The info is either on your screen if you download it on iTunes or through our Twitter links.
Well, or I'll just tell you it right now. lastmanNPC@gmail.com.
lastmanNPC@gmail.com.
Or lastmanNPC on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. The links will be right in front of you, right there. Click
right
it
there.
on.
Just click.
We'll read it. We'll read it and reply.
You know,
we'll read it and shout you out on this very show.
Just read it. Ooh, that was you touching the screen and hoping that you press the link.
Let's do it. All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.